We're going to talk about lipotropic shots because the nickname that people usually hear does an awful job of explaining them. So you might know them as skinny shots or some lame variation of that. And the name sounds simple, but the expectations that it creates is wrong. Lipotropic shot is better understood as a formula that supports fat handling. And fat handling means the way that your body processes fats, packages them, moves them, and uses them inside normal metabolism. So that's the conversation we're having. When people think about fat loss, they only think about it on the scale. But inside the body, fat has to move through several steps. Your liver helps process nutrients. Fat has to be packaged and transported. There's fatty acids that have to get to the right place to be used. And your metabolism depends on vitamins, amino acids, enzymes, and then other helper nutrients that are doing jobs kind of in the background. So that's where the lipotropic ingredients come in. The most basic version most people have heard of is a MIC, or MIC. Methionine, inositol, and choline. That's literally the classic lipotropic foundation. So methionine is an essential amino acid involved in normal metabolism and methylation. Choline is important for cell membranes, nerve signaling, methylation, and liver fat processing. And one of choline's big jobs is helping the liver package and move fat out. So that's why choline's in it. Inositol is involved in cell signaling and some metabolic communication. So you can think of MIC as the base formula. So it makes sense. All the ingredients have a purpose, but it's also basic. And basic doesn't mean bad. It just means basic. And a plain mix shot is the starting version of a lipotropic injection. So our formula starts there, but it doesn't end there. We use, obviously, methionine, inositol, and choline. We do B1, B2, B6, B12, and carnitine. And it's almost 500 milligrams. So you don't need this all the time. Every other week or once a month is honestly completely sufficient. And this formula is built around a broader metabolic support picture. So the B vitamins are in there because metabolism is not just a single switch. And your body needs helper nutrients to break down carbs, fats, and proteins and turn those into usable energy. So B1 helps with carbohydrate metabolism and cellular energy production. B2 helps with energy production and the metabolics of fats, carbs, and proteins. B6 is amino acid metabolism, some neurotransmitter production, immune function, and hemoglobin. B12 supports red blood cell production, nervous system function, DNA, methylation, and normal energy stuff. And that's why B vitamins often show up in these formulas. It's not a decoration. It's literally like part of the machinery. And then we also add carnitine. Carnitine is one of the easiest pieces to understand because its job is super specific. Long-chain fatty acids need help getting into the mitochondria. So the mitochondria is where those fatty acids are oxidized and used as part of energy production. And carnitine helps with that transport system. So think of carnitine like a shuttle. It helps move the fatty acids into a place where they can actually be used. So the shuttle is important. But the shuttle also doesn't decide whether you created the conditions to use stored fat in the first place. So that comes from the bigger plan, right? Your food intake, how much protein you're getting, if you're moving your body, how much muscle you have and are generating, hormones, your sleep, and then whether or not you're consistent with all of those things. And that's all of the boring stuff that people want to skip because that's usually where the answers are hiding. And that's also why I don't love the phrase skinny shot, fat burner shot, belly buster, like whatever buzzword nonsense people can come up with. It makes the injection sound like it's the main character in this movie, and it's not. The plan is the main character, and the injection itself is just the supporting cast. So a better name would be like metabolic support shot. But that's obviously not sexy enough to sell these shots to the general public looking for a cheap and easy way to lose fat. If it actually worked that way, it would be $1,500. It wouldn't be $30. So we have the skinny shot, the mix shot, the lipo B shot, lipo C shot, lipomino shot, fat burner shot, and whatever 12 other names that you've heard that probably don't mean anything. So the names are never standardized. One clinic's lipo C might be carnitine, another's might be vitamin C. Another clinic may use a fancy name for a plain MIC shot because somebody opened up Canva and got ambitious. So the name matters way less than the actual formula. You should be asking what's in it. So again, ours is MIC, B1, B2, B6, B12, and carnitine. So it gives the lipotropic base, plus the additional support for energy metabolism, amino acid metabolism, red blood cell support, nervous system support, and fatty acid transport. So that's the explanation. A lipotropic shot supports the machinery involved in fat processing and metabolism. It can make sense for people who are already working on body composition, nutrition, movement, or metabolic support, but you need to understand it correctly. It's support for your system. It is not the system. And I'm not trying to downplay it. I take these shots, I love them. I'm just being honest. Because when people understand what the shot actually does, they stop expecting to do the entire job of the entire plan. So to clean it all up, MIC supports methylation, liver fat processing, and metabolic signaling. The B vitamins support pathways your body uses to turn those nutrients into usable energy. Carnitine helps move long-chain fatty acids into the mitochondria. And together, that makes a broader lipotropic formula than just a plain MIC. And that's why we use it, to support the machinery. You still have to drive the car. And if you keep driving your car into a ditch every weekend, you can't blame the machinery.